Ladies and gentlemen, I think something is happening.
I came here to give you these facts.
All right. Welcome. Okay, this section is this is the daily topic for today. The daily topic is going to change every day. Okay, it's going to change every day. This first topic today I'm going to deal with is faith, the idea of faith. The reason I decided that this would be the first topic that I'm going to go with is because it is something that we really need in the world today. There are so many events that are taking place in this world that are affecting us that we need to really have faith in order to be able to get through the problems and challenges that we're having. So in that regard, I brought up a few examples here of what is faith as a starting point. This is from Merriam Webster's dictionary, examples, definitions of faith. Faith, allegiance to duty or a person, loyalty, lost faith in the company's president, fidelity to one's promises, a belief and trust in and loyalty to God, belief in the traditional doctrine of a religion, the firm belief in something for which there is no proof, clinging to faith that their missing son would one day return. Okay, or something that is believed especially with strong conviction, especially a system of religious beliefs. Okay, here's some examples of faith in a sentence. Faith without a doubt leads to moral arrogance, the eternal part of pitfall, the religious conviction. Okay, let's go look at the Wikipedia entrance for faith. The Wikipedia entrance says, faith is confidence or trust in a person or thing, or the observance of an obligation from loyalty or fidelity to a person, promise, engagement. The word faith may also refer to a particular system of religious belief in which faith may equate to confidence based on some perceived degree of warrant. The term faith has numerous connotations and used in many different ways depending upon the context. The English word faith is thought to date from around 1200 to 1250 from the Middle Eastern term faith, F-E-I-T-H, via Anglo-French fed, Old French fade, okay, and it has to do with trust. Stages of faith, intuitive, projective, a stage of confusion or high impressionability. The mythic literal, a stage of provided information is accepted in order to conform with social norms. The synthetic convention, a stage that faith acquired is concreted in the belief system. Individuative, reflective, the stage where the individual critically analyzes, adopts, and accepts faith. The conjunctive faith, the stage people realize the limits of logic. And universalizing faith, this is the enlightenment stage where the individual comes out of the existing systems of faith and lives life with universal principles of compassion. Okay, and let's move here. One more. This is from Focus of the Family. What is Faith? By Tony Evans. I'll never forget the autumn day when my wife and I drove our oldest daughter, Crystal, to college. She was technically an adult, but I still saw my little girl whenever I glanced in her rearview mirror. It was exciting to see Crystal's transition into independence, but also caused me a great deal of concern. Is she ready, I wondered? Will she make wise choices? Is her faith strong enough for life's challenges? The answers would come soon enough. But some of those choices were good, others were not. More than anything I've ever experienced, watching Crystal head into adult life underscored for me the importance of instilling a strong faith in our children. Once our children leave the nest, they will need to rely on their own ability to go to God. During trials and successes, they will need to be secure in their own faith. But what does that really mean? What is faith? The one definition I've always told my children is faith is acting like God, is telling the truth. Faith is an action done in response to God's viewpoint on the matter. Here are three concepts to help children better understand this definition. Faith is anchored in truth. Over the years, I've met many people who talk about faith, yet no one shows outward connection to God's viewpoint on the matter. They might say, if I just have more faith, then this or this will happen. Later, they wondered why faith didn't seem to work for them. Teach your kids that faith isn't a feeling. It's not a supernatural force to get God to give them what we desire. If faith isn't tied to God's trust, it accomplishes nothing. Faith is only as strong as the thing for which it is anchored. Indeed, a person might be able to be full of faith, even if she doesn't feel it. She might be willing to act in faith, to love an enemy, to protect the weak, to respect a grumpy teacher, on and on. Faith grows in the dark. I love the immensity of the Texas sky. When even I looked, only saw one star in that enormous expanse. The rest of the sky was empty, or at least it appeared so. After a short time, I saw more stars appear. Soon many more were visible. I shared that imagery later with my kids as we discussed what faith was and how it worked. The stars were in place when I had first looked up, but I couldn't see them until the darkness settled in around me. We talked about how sometimes the greatest lessons of faith, when we recognize most clearly the light of truth of God's love, happen in the dark. And finally, faith endures. The book of Hebrews teaches us some of the greatest lessons of faith. In chapter 12, we read how the faith of a Christian is a lot like running a race. Let us run with endurance. The race is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith. Okay, so we can go on from there. But basically, this ties right in. Let me bring this back up here to the card of the day, the moon sign, okay? Pisces. This is all about faith. The reason it's about faith is because we are continually moving through life from things that we know and are familiar with to things that we are unfamiliar with. Sometimes we experience more of the unfamiliar things more than others. Other times not so much. But we all, at sooner or later, get past the point of what we know and we walk past the pillars of the unknown into unknown territory. And when we get there, then all we have to rely upon is the lessons that we've gained up to that point in time in life. We need to have the faith that the steps that we are taking. Now, faith may be believing in a particular God. It may be believing in a particular person. It may be believing in a concept. Faith is just believing in something bigger than yourself. And faith isn't blind. Some people say it's just blindness, that you go and people follow silly things without knowing what they're really going after. But faith isn't blind. Faith is truly understanding that there is magic, there is power in believing and having that faith. The faith is the thing that keeps us knowing that if we do good in the world, good things will happen. Faith is knowing that if we continue to believe that we can make positive changes around us, that those changes will occur. Faith is to believe that when we are in trouble, and we believe and we believe and we believe that we can bring a solution to our problem, that solution will be attained. Faith is available for every one of us. And right now, as much as any time during our lives, we need to have faith because we've got big faith-related issues going on right now. God has certainly been removed over the last many, many years from our life, from our government system. And now we could see that God is being restored. It's being addressed a little bit more. But these elements are still there fighting against us, fighting against a person's faith and personal conviction. We can't allow that to occur. We can't allow that to deter us. We must continue to remain faithful despite whatever challenges may be out there to the contrary. So keep the faith, my friends. That is the whole secret to our moving through life effectively, by continuing to keep the faith each and every day, knowing that sometimes we need to reaffirm our faith on a daily basis because the challenges come at us and they're not going to stop. But by affirming that faith, we find ourselves getting stronger and stronger. It's just like a muscle. The more we work it, the stronger it gets. And so just remember all of these lessons. Go check out these links I put up there. Read about faith. Understand it. The more that you understand it, the more that we all understand what it is, the more we'll stop being so afraid of everything. Because fear simply comes when you do not have confidence in one's ability to do the things you say you're going to do. Faith is knowing that you're going to accomplish what you said you're going to do. But doubts and fears get in and they stop when they block the faith. So let's not block the faith. Let's be open. Let's embrace it and share that with each other, because that is what is going to move us from today to tomorrow to the next day, and so on and so on and so on. All right, so there you go. There's our topic for today. Faith is the topic. Links are available so you can check them out. Go read further, do further research from there. And if you have any ideas on the matter, please let me know. firstcontactradio@yahoo.com. That's it. Stay tuned. I'll be back, and we shall continue on with our meditation and prayer for today.